Good morning, what's up everyone? This is Mike from Spirit of 1876. We are here in the Spirit HQ of Castle Rock, Colorado. And to set the stage a little bit, it's about 10:30 a.m. We just had Riggs Coffee this weekend, and I invited a friend here, Joshua Thurman from Lava Box. Josh, thanks for joining us today, buddy.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
First question is, why weren't you here Saturday?
Holy shit.
Just throw you under the bus.
That is the worst thing I've ever seen. God, what's wrong with you, man? No, Powder was super good. I have to say yes to Powder. No friends on Powder days. So.
Where'd you go?
I was at Winter Park, and
Is that the family spot? Because I feel like you go there a lot.
No. Winter Park is like, it's got so much good terrain.
Yeah.
I worked there for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned about like 3 new jobs in the 5 minutes of prep before
I have
this.
a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of jobs. But yeah, there's a whole section called the Cirque, which
Okay.
is like they're kind of inbounds, out of bounds, and they actually have a cat at the top, and they'll take you in the cat, drive you out to all the drops, and you can drop in there. My son, who is now just turned 9, he wanted to drop it for the first time, and I couldn't say no. So I was like, let's go up and drop the Cirque, man. And
How old is he?
He's 9. He's a ripper. He crushes. So
Nice.
he's been riding before he could walk. So
That's
he's been
awesome.
swimming before he could walk.
So yeah, Riggs Coffee. We got some cold brews if you need one. I'm gonna have one because I'm gonna tell you about my morning and why I had to push it back.
You said it was 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
It sounds like the
there's gonna
perfect
be
time for a
judgment.
banquet.
There's gonna be some judgment, but thank you for being flexible today.
Oh, of course.
We had to push it back a little bit because I'm leaving the country next month, and yesterday. This is actually my wife, bless her soul, is a planner. I would have probably got the passports out like minutes before we left for the airport.
Yeah.
But we pulled out the passports and they're expired for the kids. They expire in 5 years.
Could you do the rush?
There's an office in Aurora.
Yeah.
So we made an 8 o'clock appointment this morning. We went down there and my wife was just so nervous. I could tell her. And I don't know if it's being an entrepreneur or what we deal with as small business owners on a day-to-day. Like, I was totally fine with it. I was like, we're fine. It's going to be fine. She was freaking out.
They can rush it through.
They rushed it through. I mean,
Perfect.
we leave in a week. So,
that's fast.
So
That's really fast.
my heart was beating a little bit for her. But we got it. We're
Good.
there. And
Where are you
great
guys
excuse.
going?
What's that?
Where are you guys going?
We're going to Mexico.
Nice.
My father-in-law is retired, and so the whole family's going. So
Awesome.
it's her dad.
Love it.
She obviously wanted to be there. We were excited about it. It's been planned for a while, and to fear last night that we might not be able to bring the kids, I was like, well, I'll just ask the dog sitter if we could add +3.
That's it.
We're going.
That's it.
We are going.
They'd be really mad at you.
They would.
The
They
children would be upset if you left
Yeah.
them.
Well, good excuse on missing Saturday. It was a good event. I was thinking back, was the Riggs Coffee that you first came the first time we met?
No.
No?
No, we had met before that, but that was you've been carrying the product for about a year, I think.
Okay.
But if you remember, I really was sad not to be there because so many people were so into it, and it was cold. It was super snowy, and all the kids got to make some more, so that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I remember, so that morning, that night, it was a mad dash to just get prepped for the event. And so I actually slept here in a rooftop tent. And I remember you came in and I was hungover, tired. I had some
remember.
buddies that were like, oh, I'll come help, which just translates to drinking and not doing anything.
Yeah.
So like they, eventually went to bed and I just remember like just prepping until like 3 a.m. And you came in and you were like, what's the plan? And I was just like, just slaying your fire, man. Just slaying. You're like, well, do you want to sell it through you? And I just remember being like, whatever you do, man. This is just do you.
For once, I wasn't hungover.
Yeah.
I think. I can't remember, actually. I might have been.
I just remember you being super cool. And I thought that was the first time we met, but you weren't judging me. And it
No,
was
hell no.
it was an awesome thing. So for those that don't
Glass
know,
houses, man.
Riggs Coffee is an event that we host. We try to host an event like once a month where we just bring the community together. It's Overland Swap, Riggs Coffee, whatever dumb excuse we could figure out to just
Totally.
bring a bunch of people together around here. But yeah, so
Well, I won't miss the next one unless it's a powder day.
it's probably going to be I mean, next one will be in April. We'll still have snow.
Yeah.
Keystone will be open.
Let's see what
till
happens.
June.
Let's see what happens. I'm gonna bring my new vehicle.
Yes, dude. I was kind of hoping that you were gonna bring the lava limousine. Is
The
see-
Transit, the Ford Transit.
Yeah, to see one of the new rooftop tents that you have on it. Is it considered a rooftop tent? Is it a camper?
So to honor my friend Rod, who owns Auntie Shanty,
Okay.
I will call it a rooftop dwelling. 'Cause
Okay.
that's what he prefers.
I like it.
And yeah, I don't want to mess up his branding, but yeah, it is spectacular. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about really all the fit and finish is fantastic. So I don't want to blow up his spot too much, but it's fully insulated. So all the walls are insulated, and it's only 3 panels, so it just pops right out. It's all hard-sided, great windows. The sides are like gull-wing doors, open up, so you have these really cool openings on the sides. It is amazing.
And then I can't remember. Is there a pass-through?
I built a pass-through, yeah. So we
It's
cut
not
a
gonna
hole in the
be-
van.
Nice.
It was nuts because it's a big hole.
Yeah.
Cut the hole in the van, and I built a pass-through in it. And I had never done anything like that before, but it wasn't bad, and it looks factory. It looks good, I think.
Is that something that he's gonna push?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're the first van to have it. He usually has it on top of one of his toppers, but it looks really sharp on there. It looks kind of small on top of a giant van.
I can't
But
wait to see it.
but it's actually 6'7", so it's actually a pretty big tent
Yeah.
or dwelling.
Wait, 6'7", lengthwise.
Lengthwise, yeah.
But with the wedge, you kind of lose some, right? So you're
A little
tall
bit,
guy.
but
Can you sleep on your back full out?
Oh, 100%.
Nice.
Oh, I've got space underneath, so I have my Goal Zero charger running the diesel heater, and I have plenty of room for that. Running the diesel heater on the deck, on the roof of the deck.
Very cool.
Slept in it on Friday night, and it was 1 degree, and it was totally fine.
That's
Me and my
awesome.
son slept up there, and it was perfect.
Do you have the diesel heater venting on the outside or in the van?
I have the diesel heater sitting on our deck of the van,
Okay.
and then it pipes around and comes into the tent,
Hell yeah.
into the dwelling. Damn it.
We got to see that.
It
We
is
gotta
cool.
see it.
It is cool.
And are
It's
they?
a setup.
They're made here in Colorado.
They're actually made in Logan, Utah, and they are literally handmade, every single piece of it.
So
He's got an incredible. I mean, this guy's done it right. He has 6 different spots, like a compound, and part of it is like one's a machine shop. He builds climbing walls too. He was one of the first people to bring the auto belay to the market.
Okay.
And so this guy, I mean, he has just his fingers are in all kinds of pies, but he was able to do all these pieces in one place. You know, like he'll do all the machining for the metal in one place, then he'll do all the foam cuts for he does laser cut foam inside. I mean, the finish of this stuff is incredible.
That's
So he does that in one place, and then has a rivet shop. He does all that, the welding in another shop. I mean, it all comes
So
together
cool.
into these incredible things. And it's all hand built by his guys in Logan, Utah.
I can't wait to see it.
I
can't wait
couldn't
to see
help
it.
but
I didn't
support
even
him.
know about it until you posted it, and I at first was a little hurt since we're the rooftop tent kings in Colorado. That I just maybe need to get in the dwelling game, but no.
You should talk to
I
him.
knew there's a good reason. That's awesome that he's a buddy of yours.
I'm
Because it
just
looks
so
super
impressed.
cool.
Like, yeah, he's innovative, and he's like me. He really wants it to be good.
Yeah.
Like something that's awesome and people want.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference. Like he really he wants it to be really great, and
Awesome.
people to enjoy it. It's not, and he wants it. If it's shitty, he won't put it out. Period.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Well, we kind of just dove in all kinds of topics.
Yeah.
You're the creator of this thing. It's the Lava Box, the original portable fire pit.
I think so.
Tell me a little bit about how you fell into this. What sparked the
Yeah.
interest? Sparked.
All right. So the first thing is you're talking about all my jobs.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
sit on a ton of boards too, and I sit on the board for the Colorado Whitewater Association.
Okay.
I was a kayaker I've been a kayaker for almost 30 years, whitewater kayaker, and so I took a board seat on that Colorado Whitewater board, and as their kayak instructor, so I ran all the instruction for them. And as our last trip of the year, we were in Kremling, Colorado. You've been out to Kremling.
Yep.
It gets crazy cold in Grand County.
Beautiful.
It is
Kremling.
beautiful, yeah. Kremling, the town is it's okay. I don't get an email from Kremling, motherfucker. but Kremling is fine. But down below is the headwaters of the Colorado, so Gore Canyon and all of that, and it's a beautiful area. And we do a end of the year paddle, but it's always in like September, and it starts to get really cold down there. And I want to say it was like 12 when we got off the river. So people were cold. And we started drinking and having fun. And we had those big round pits, that everybody has, propane pits, and they have all the lava rocking, and they're heavy and they're shitty. And everybody, we're just kind of drunk, and we were drinking whiskey, and someone said, hey, Josh, you make all kinds of weird stuff. Why don't you make something better than this that can go on our raft? Because the rafters all the raft guys, we all use ammo cans for everything because they're waterproof and they're super tough. So I was like, oh man, yeah, I'll go make something. And I said, what if it comes out of an ammo can, And they're like, yeah, that way we can just store it in our boat. And then it just dawned on me. I was like, what if it is the ammo can? Went home, built 7 prototypes, and then number 7 was the one that I just was like, this is the one. And I told my wife, it was funny, at the time I worked for the National Sports Center for the Disabled, was my actual job. It was an awesome job, but I told her, I said, I'm quitting my job tomorrow. I was like, I'm gonna let them know that I'm gonna just go full on in this. And she's like, you are crazy. I said, I'm not crazy. This is gonna be awesome, And I said, this thing's got legs. I really feel like this is something that people want. I had no idea that it would end up the way it did.
Yeah.
But it did. I sold 40 of them that I handmade, in the first 2 weeks. So I built the website. I've done a lot of weird things. So I built a website in 24 hours, did the whole thing. And on Squarespace, and now we've graduated to Shopify. But the whole thing was done in 24 hours, and then sold 40 of them to friends and family, and then sold 1,000 of them over the next 4 weeks.
That's insane.
It was insane. It was totally insane.
So I know you said you knew that's what people wanted. Were you getting a lot of these things happen where someone builds it for themselves and then they see it and they're like, "Where'd you get that?"
Yep. That's exactly how it happened.
So you just felt the vibe of everyone asking, man.
I showed it to a few folks. So there's for rafting and kayaking in the West, there's a thing called Mountain Buzz, and I put it up on Mountain Buzz, and people saw it and they're like, "Where'd you get that? I want one."
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went from there. And people started making them, which was really cool, and just saw them out there, and all of a sudden they were everywhere. So now everything that looks like this is a lava box, which I think is kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's like Kleenex. It's like
exactly. Just kind of really neat. I'm still kind of getting over that feeling. It's neat. It's a neat feeling.
That's incredible. Well, I know you said people are making them. I know when I first started selling them, the kind of technology or what I should say, the brains behind this particular unit isn't as black and white as it may appear.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just an ammo can. I could do that, blah, blah, blah. Tell us a little bit why that is not the case and why some of these DIY jobs are dangerous.
I've seen them, and I totally commend people for going out and build. I'm a hardcore tinkerer.
Yeah.
I built so many weird things, so I am really stoked that people were making them. But you definitely want to get it right.
Yeah.
And I definitely made some that weren't good.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people. I said, we sell them. They start at $175. So by the time you get done, and we were the first one really to do with iron pipe and figure out how to do an actual burner with a jet and all that in it. And that's why that was the original patent was with that jet and all that stuff. And I said, man, you could go and do it and get to $110 or so with your, but you don't want to use an old can. Old ammo cans have tons of lead. The paint is bad. They were never meant to be burned. Yes, people have been burning them in the military forever. And so it was not out of the scope of I knew that. I've built fires in them before because we're not allowed to put fires on the ground in fire bans or in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
So we do it. We've been using ammo cans forever. But you really do need to strip them. We had it tested, and that's when we realized that we couldn't go to market with a stripped can, an old can. I do a lot of hunting, and I know I don't want my lead birdshot in an ammo can that I'm going to burn with my family. That's not smart. So I was like, go do it. But and I tell people all the time, do it. You can totally make one, but for a few bucks more, we're going to give you a brand new ammo can that's never been used for anything, that has a food grade high heat powder coat on it, or is made out of stainless steel. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. You don't worry about it hurting anybody.
Yeah.
And so I try to encourage people to think about that. But if they decide they want to go forward, I just tell them to strip it. Make sure you really strip it. Chemical strip. It's really important. And even then, unfortunately, lead hangs around.
Yeah.
Right? So if it ever had lead shot in it, which a lot of them do, you're in trouble there too. So I know it's cold. You have to turn it up.
And there's a lot of them, but they don't all do that.
They do not.
So how? I mean, we've talked about some of your jobs, none of which, maybe, and I don't know of all of them, included like building, designing, engineering something like this. I know you said you're a tinkerer. Is that just
Yeah, that's it. That's
just
it.
playing around, figuring
You're gonna
this
laugh.
out?
I have a master's degree, but it's not in any of these things.
What-
It's in public affairs.
Perfect.
So I've always
Perfect.
I've always wanted to give back to the community, and so I've done a lot of philanthropic work for
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah, I worked for the DA's office for a long time, and then I worked for the National Sports Center for the Disabled. Yeah. So it's
That's super awesome. You don't ever really talk about that, but
I
I know
don't.
that about you. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I think it's super cool. Like I said, that's the one part I did know. I guess I didn't know about the DA office for 10 years. That's insane.
it's kind of insane. Yeah,
so-
so you know I work with people with disabilities, and
Yeah.
it's a big deal to me.
Absolutely.
The goal is to eventually have the shop run exclusively by people with disabilities.
That's incredible.
I was inspired by my friend. Have you ever been to Brewability Lab?
I have not.
So Brewability Lab is run by my friend Tiffany, and it's a brewery run by all people with disabilities.
All right.
And it's awesome. It's in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. No, not Wheat Ridge now. It's at the end of South Broadway. What is that called? Inglewood.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's awesome. And I just was like, you did it. Because
Yeah.
we worked together when she was running a day program. And she said she's going to open a brewery and have people with disabilities work there because it's hard to get jobs.
Yeah.
And so I helped her kind of get it off the ground. I do a lot of brewing. My wife and I do a lot of brewing. And so I was like, I'll help you with the recipes. Let's get it going.
That's
Painting
so
the walls, and then and then she pulled it off.
What's the name of it?
Brewability Lab.
Ability
It's just
Lab.
Brewability.
All
Yeah.
right. Very cool.
Live music, pizza, beers.
Amazing. In Inglewood.
Inglewood, right across from my favorite store. There's a surplus store. there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right down the street.
That's right at the start, right at that main cross.
Exactly.
That place is interesting.
Yeah, it's got some wild stuff.
I flipped some houses in Inglewood like 7 years ago, and that spot is so interesting. You go
It
in
is.
there, and it's like just the stacked on stacked of merchandise.
He wants to carry a lava box. I keep talking about it, so
You got to get in there.
I know, right?
It is like it's like a kind of organized hoarder scene.
I kind of love it.
I love it too.
We were
I
just
lo-
there.
It's
That's one of
it's
my
got
favorite
the
places.
greatest things from like just no name like $5 beanies to like a Columbia jacket,
I
which
s-
might be from 10 years ago, but
Totally.
it's like $60 and it's brand new with tags, and you're like,
I love it. He was so excited about the lava box. He's like, this thing is awesome. I'm like, yeah, man, you should carry them. So we were kind of trying to figure it out. The only thing is I don't, as you know, I only work with mom and pops. We don't do any Amazon. We don't do any of that stuff. We're in one Ace, but
which is kind of the bridge of Dick's Sporting Goods and mom and pop, because
Well,
they're
the-
individually owned, right?
yeah, this
So-
one, and this one I said I'm only going to do individual. I don't know if I already told you the story, but they wanted to do a deal for 60,000 units.
I think I remember you telling me
And I
about this
turned
in
it
the early
down.
stages. Yeah.
That was a tough day. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've never done this.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it was good or bad, but it felt bad. Like, you know what I mean?
You got to just follow your gut. It felt
It
bad.
didn't feel good, right? I'm sitting there, and they're like, well, and I don't know if people know this or know how it all works, but they wanted 70% off of the MSRP of each box. So so it's going to be a tough thing a nut to
Yeah.
do. I don't have any money. I bootstrapped this entire project. I've never taken an investment from anybody ever. And so I was like, man, I would have to raise like $2.5 million, and just like, it all felt corporate and lame, and I didn't want to do it. And no offense, I love Ace. Ace
Yeah.
is like next to Harbor Freight, it's my favorite store. but it just didn't feel right,
Yeah.
And we were talking about earlier, I'm almost 50, and I was like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and I don't want to work for Ace.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
For sure. Yeah, I remember in the early days, you and I having these conversations. That's why I think you and I created this bond early on of just like, what the, like there's a lot of figuring out. And, like you, I started this business with just a little investment, and I wasn't going to pour any more money into it. It wasn't something that I was like, I'm dead set on this. It was just like, let's see how this works. And kind of figure it out as we go. There's more of an exit strategy than there was a business plan. But it's, I always enjoy talking to you about it. I actually have a question for you about Shark Tank. What led you to Shark Tank, and was it my idea?
It was your idea.
Yes! I've never asked you, but I remember talking to you about it, and I was just like, I wanted you to get ahead of it. I knew that you had such an incredible product.
You were right. And so right after we talked about it, I sent in an application. And at the time, we had like no sales, right? We had like, I think our annual was like $200,000. And they're like, that's just not enough. I think it was less than that, actually. And but they liked the video we made.
Sorry, but how the hell do the fucking little girls that sell lemonade that are on have 200,000 in sales?
I have no idea.
Because they're giving my kids false hope.
Totally.
They're out there on the streets every summer day like, we got to just raise enough to get on Shark Tank.
They were like, your annual is less than X, so we're not quite interested the first time. I said, but we're going to call you next year and see where you're at. And I was like, all right, let's do that. Because the big part, and you said it, the big part was I wanted to level the playing field. Like, we're talking about people who have massive investment. A couple of our competitors are huge.
Yeah.
One guy's been in the business for 30 years in the outdoor, manufacturing space, and he's very savvy and very bright guy, and immediately knocked off our product. As soon as he saw it, he's like, that's a winner, and he made a copy. And I can't fight him. I can't litigate against him. I can't afford that. So when you said Shark Tank, I was like, of course I should go on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can get the, even out the score a little bit, or at least people know about me, And so fast forward to a year, and they came back, and we had a great year of sales, and they said, come on the show. And I was like, once again, it's about experiences. It wasn't about sales at all. I was like, this is just going to be cool, and it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really funny. Like, it's really strange, but it was really neat.
So since then, I've learned a lot about Shark Tank, and not all great stuff. Tell us a little, if you can, a little bit about the things you don't know when you watch that show. Because I apologize if I didn't know anything other than like, I just wanted this to be in front of a lot of eyeballs, because I don't think it's the camper or the overlander. I think that this fits for the dad who's at the soccer game, freezing his ass off or a doubleheader, or after snowboarding and just drinking a couple beers at the tailgate, taking your boots off. Like,
tailgate is awesome.
Everyone can use this. There's a need for everyone. And then we do like planting trees and trying to rebuild that up. And so like safe usage of fire is also really important to me. So this hit on a lot of angles for me, and I felt like, man, more people need to know about it. And knowing you and how small you were and just starting it up, I was like, man, REI, these other companies are going to come in. How do you get in front of people? But
you were right. They tried to gobble me up right away. Offered me jobs and all kinds of crazy stuff. So they're like,
well, good for you for staying the path. But tell me what happened that was new to you with
I'll say this. I'll say it is absolutely real. Okay. We've talked about it, I think, before, but the process is 100% real. Now, you're right. Forbes did talk about the percentages of deals that actually close. But to be fair, it really is tough to walk into a situation like that and just make an investment, make a deal right there.
Yeah.
You're in there for a while. The show cuts it down to 7 minutes. And I'm trying to figure out what I can say, what I can't say. But the whole process is completely real.
Yeah.
Like they open the doors, they count down, they open the doors, and you're on. And if you blow it, you blow it. And that's it. There's no retakes. There's no go back and do it again.
Yeah.
It's intense. Like I told you before, that people were crying in the backstage and worried and sitting in the green room and freaking out. It was, and I'm like, I don't know, smoke some weed or something.
Be all right. A whole new respect for these kids that go on.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Because that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was as raw as that, because it seems like you can tell when some people are nervous, but it seems like everyone delivers a pretty decent
You've
pitch.
never met the sharks. You've never talked to them. You
There's
walk
no-
out and pitch it, man.
So the first time just seeing them and like all the cameras, there's not a rough, like go out here and pitch.
If you blow it, you blow it. It's intense. I mean, it's as real as it gets.
Well, there needs to be a, like American Idol has the reject skits.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a compilation of the people
No
that just
way.
tanked. I mean,
You see them occasionally because they air them, but I feel so
Oh, they
bad
do
for 'em.
that?
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see them because I watched every show.
Okay.
After that, I knew I was going on. I practiced for 4 months.
yeah.
So because I just wasn't going to be that guy who walked out and blew it.
Yeah.
I could. It's not me. It's not in me to do that anyway.
Yeah,
So it's
you crushed it. I think you did
Yeah,
so good.
I was
It
ready.
Nice.
So my guys, I'd walk in and they'd be like, "Pitch us right now." You
Yeah.
know, Jeff and Adam would be like, "Pitch you right now." So I'd have to go and do the whole pitch right there. And
Yeah.
so the pressure was always
and
on.
did it hit you with some curveball questions?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
you see, we have this in sales. How much price per unit? What's your strategy?
Well, I knew
for-
every number inside
Yeah.
and out. You just have you want to be ready, and you can tell
Yeah.
people who aren't ready, and that's,
It adds to the nervousness if there's parts of the business you don't know because you're like, hope they don't ask me about this.
Well, you can see like some people who go on clearly aren't that involved with their business. Like they're like maybe they're a
Silent investor.
yeah, they're just some kind of part of it. And I think the people who run their own business and are doing it day in and day out are pretty solid. So I don't know. I felt pretty good about going out there. I just it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what happened. So obviously, Lori and I made a deal, and for anybody watching this, I got 4 offers. I didn't make an offer with Mark Cuban. Mark and I talked a lot, and just I don't think he likes to get on deals where 4 other sharks are in it.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, it's not my thing. But he understood the concept. He just was like, I don't go camping. It's not my thing. And I completely respect that. So after that, Lori's husband and I became friends and talked. He was a really great source of information and has always given me tips and everything else. We did that for a year, and then we kind of said, I just don't see a path forward together, and we mutually agreed and just said, let's just give it up. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
He gave me the most awesome report, this very thorough report about what I should do next, and it was really great. So I thought the whole experience was just fantastic. And I know some people don't feel that way. That was my experience.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's phenomenal.
And I sold a month's worth of lava boxes the night of the airing,
Yeah.
which was kind of crazy.
That was actually going to be my next question because, sometimes you have these expectations of what the result will be of something. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like a viral video on Instagram with 1 million views. Like, oh my gosh, that will do such numbers for my business. It
Right.
might add, 1% of followers. Oh my gosh, that would be great. X of sales. It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't translate
did
to
not.
anything. And so I was always curious on how many people see that and immediately transact. I mean,
So-
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, and some did. And we see small bumps every time it re-airs, but the reality is that we still had to go to the grind.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my gosh, you were on Shark Tank, you must be a millionaire. We're not. None
Yeah.
of that happened. I'm still banging away.
Yeah.
So, and we get a lot of funny people trying to solicit us. We get a ton of that. Oh, I saw you on Shark Tank, and I want to show you why your website sucks. That kind of shit. But
That would happen even if you weren't on.
yeah,
show.
totally. So that's the extent of it. But the bump was real the first night.
That's awesome.
So we did see a really awesome sales there, and I like telling people about it. Like it's just a cool story. So
Yeah.
I put it on the cars and have fun with it. And
Well, I'm so glad it was positive because honestly, 1, I didn't know if I had anything to do with it, but 2, I didn't know if it ended up netting to be a good decision or not.
I think
this
so.
is great.
I think there's plenty of people in the world who want to poo-poo shit. Be like, oh, you sold out and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, if you can have a life experience like that, do it.
For
Why
sure.
wouldn't you say yes to that?
Absolutely.
And I think the people who say that to me are just like, oh, I can't believe you sold out, went on Shark Tank, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, you're missing life.
Yeah.
You're missing the good stuff. So anyway.
That's super cool. Well, post Shark Tank, you've been. When did this start? 2020, 2021?
I built it in October of 2020.
Okay.
Officially.
So this was a COVID business?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
is COVID really what pushed it? Because you were like,
Kinda.
I've got the time now.
Yeah, I was in the middle of building a trailer.
Okay.
And we couldn't have any classes like face to face. I'd done some work for a software company, and then it was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I was still building programs for the National Sports Center for the Disabled, and then just said this is a good time to launch it.
That's amazing.
You know, and everybody was camping, and I'm always like, so as you know, we started a nonprofit at the same time, Protect Our Rivers. I don't know if you know that or not, but yeah. So Protect Our Rivers is about conservation, is about ecological awareness, and I said, you know what, we're going to do both of them at the same time. This is a perfect start. My friend Sarah, she kicked off Protect Our Rivers, and we kind of did it together as a COVID thing. And it was awesome. It was a perfect time to do it. We had plenty of time to concentrate on it and work hard on it, and yeah.
That's awesome. So 3 years.
Yep.
You've created, I've seen you kind of dabble in a few different things now. You've got the lava box, you've got a new, which you can cook on. It's not just for heat, but now there's a whole separate, almost like a scuttle. Is that?
Yeah,
can I use the word scuttle?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I don't know. Nobody owns that terminal thing. But,
I didn't know if that was a.
You could say discata. You have the Spanish version of the
Okay.
scuttle.
So
or the whatever wok.
tell me a little bit about what's in the pipeline for Lava Box. You got some new stuff coming out this year?
We do. Well, one thing that I think is really cool is this is another one of my like raft inventions. I don't know if the story of the tank top.
No, Bert's tank top.
Bert's tank top.
I want to hear. I was actually going to ask about why is this Bert, because this thing is awesome. Even
Thank
if
you.
you don't have a Lava Box, it's super helpful. We were talking about this strap because Josh was like, "What's this hanging from it?" I kind of like this. This is a perfect bungee. The nice thing about it is it's perfect every time. But this is what I use to keep my loud propane bottle from rattling, keeping it secure. And looking nicer, I guess.
I love it. I hope those guys will work with us and we'll just sell it with the tank top. But
Absolutely.
so like I said, I do a lot of rafting, and you don't want sharp bits in your raft. You want to be able to tie things in. So I cut the leg off of a neoprene fishing waders, right? And then I sewed up the bottom and slipped it over my propane tank, so the sharp parts wouldn't be there if I flipped the boat. And you don't want a sharp tank hitting like you in the face.
Yeah.
And so I sewed that up. Everywhere I went, people were like, "Where'd you get that thing, man?" Because I put little, daisy chain loops on it, tie down straps, and everyone's like, "Man, that's so awesome! You should sell those." And this is long before Lava Box. So
really?
So I actually own the patent on this.
So Bert's tank top
was first.
before? Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
gosh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you were a creator already. Started before fire.
I built a software system for OnStar that didn't make it. I wrote a treatment for a TV show that they actually produced, but I ended up not getting paid for it. I'm always making stuff, doing stuff. So
Hell yeah.
yeah. So Bert's tank top is actually named after. I used to live in North Carolina, where they filmed Deliverance, and it's named for Burt Reynolds' outfit in Deliverance. That tank top that he's wearing. That's the neoprene tank top.
Gosh, that's
Because
incredible.
the zipper looks totally like it. So, and we used to do a commercial with the hairy chest that would pop out. It would open up and the chest would pop out. The hair would pop out like Burt Reynolds' hair.
Yes.
So it's pretty awful. But don't watch Deliverance. Don't watch Deliverance. I don't know what you're. But
That's amazing. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense though. I have random names too. Like we have a blank shirt that's called the Randy Tee, just because some guy in my neighborhood got a logo shirt and was like, "Dude, your shirts are the thinnest, most comfortable shirts I've ever bought. Do you think you'd ever make like a blank one?" So we put a design on the back, just like it's a river tee, but on the front there's nothing, and I call it the Randy Tee because just this guy named Randy really was into it. And everyone's like, "Where'd you come up with the Randy Tee?" It's a long story. It's not that long. Just covered it.
I like
the
it.
Bert's tank top is amazing. Okay, but that's before.
Yeah.
What's new? What else is?
Yeah. What's new?
coming?
So like you said, the scuttle we're calling the squawk,
Okay.
which is short for skillet walk.
Nice.
Because scuttle's like hard for people for some reason. Squawk's easier. The squawk is coming out, and the squawk is handmade by my friend Nick in Maine.
All right.
Once again, we were like, how do we keep it local, keep it American? And he has a forge that makes incredible stuff. And you can go to, I think it's Wix wixforge.com.
Okay.
But he'll be hand making every single one of them. We just started pressing the discs, 21-inch disc plus handmade handles. It's gorgeous.
Nice.
It'll be out very soon, and it just so happens that it fits perfectly on the over-under grill thingy, my other patent.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be out soon. We also, I don't want to let out too much information, but we are working on another larger sized box
okay.
that will include a thermal mass, so we can radiate even more heat. So that's in the pipeline as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's some other things that are coming out, but I can't talk about.
Do you need another banquet?
Maybe.
I want to get these
But
out.
we're gonna stay in our lane. I'll tell you that because I just think it's so cool. People are coming out with so many neat things, and we don't want to be everything to everyone at all. I have zero interest in that. The first thing people ask you about the Lava Bucks is, can you cook on it? So of course we kind of we went in the cooking lane. And that's why you're seeing the new Trident, which is the one with the cooking burner. It has a cooking burner and a campfire burner, just to explain to people watching. One burner is a very clean blue flame that's perfect like your stove at home, but it makes 1,000 degrees, so it's pretty serious. And then the other one is the campfire flame. That's our big yellow. You can blast it if you want, but that makes that big yellow flame. We on the river are usually cooking for like 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
And we got to have what we call blaster stove that we can boil water and make pasta for 30 or something like that. And I didn't want to carry two things. So it really was just pragmatism. It was a practical thing. Like, gosh, I don't want to carry a stove and a campfire. I'm going to make them both.
Yeah.
And they had to do both well. That was always the caveat, right? I didn't want to marginalize one thing to make the other one better.
Yeah.
So I said, both have to fucking kick ass. And that's how we got there.
That's awesome. I think you've done a good job of not going too wide. I think it's easy when you start to see, like, you know, your creative mind. You're creative, so you start thinking, you know, outside of the Lava Box. See what I did there?
Nice.
And
Nice.
and sometimes spread yourself too thin by going across a bunch of categories.
Well,
obviously,
and there's a cash limit too, right? I mean, people ask us to make all kinds of stuff, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people realize what it takes to bring a product to market.
For sure.
Like cash-wise. They're like, oh, that would be so cool if you did X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, man, I'd love to do that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And we could do it really well, but the money is just, we can't, right now it's just impossible.
So how do you stay focused? Do you have a team? Do you have your wife?
I do.
Is it part of your decision making?
She is.
How do you rein yourself back?
She's
from not
much
being a
smarter
nut?
than me, so she does a good job of pulling me back. And then I have my two main guys, and they really kind of keep me in check. But I'll tell you what we did to kind of fix all this, because we all like to build stuff.
Yeah.
We're all builders. And so we decided that we were going to have side projects that weren't for sale. And it's been really cool. And so we're building that amphibious vehicle right now, 6x6. And that's kept us from spreading out. We can use all of our creative energy on that, and really focus on improving our core products.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives us an outlet. And so, and I don't know if people are watching it or not. We do it on Sundays. We post stuff about our thing. We're building a thing it's the original ATV from 1959. We found the shell of it, just as like in trash on Craigslist. Bought it, completely refiberglassed it, rebuilt it, building a brand new drivetrain. It's so awesome, right? It used to be 5 horsepower. We made it 35 horsepower. It's gonna go like 70 miles per hour.
Oh my God.
It's insane. So much low end torque because it's electric now, so we can drive it at shows and that kind of stuff. It's insane. But we were like, what do we do? This is a perfect question. We were like, what do we do to keep going, keep our brains moving? And that's what we did. We were like, let's have side projects. So we're planning on building a boat next year. I don't want to let out too much, but we have two
jet boats.
Yeah, we have 2 jet engines. So.
Dang, those are insane.
So we're gonna make one.
Watching the videos of those dudes just rip up the thing.
We want one real bad. As
It's
river people are like
crazy.
The only reason we didn't do it this year is because I saw the original thing was called a jigger, like I said, from Canada.
Yeah.
The original 6x6, and I saw the jigger and was like, I don't know what that thing is, but I want to make it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know what it was when I first saw it. I was like, this is such a weird object of art.
Yeah.
I want to understand what it is or do something with it. And then it turned out it was so cool. And now I'm friends with the grandson of the original patent holder. and he wants it for the ATV museum, which is kind of
Nice.
exciting. He saw it, and he's like, because there's less than 100 that have been even remotely restored, and ours
Yeah.
is one of the most pristine ones now. So
You know, I don't know if I ever told you. You inspired me. You do this like river surfing.
Yeah.
And
You gotta
Seoul.
come out.
I gotta come out because I need the spot. That's like, you know, it's like a surf spot, like
I
the
got
ski
you.
spot. You know, so I'll tell you, I bought one from Soul Paddleboards. I don't know if you know
from
those
Redbeard.
guys.
Yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
all those guys. Yeah.
So Johnny sent me one of the little small ones, and
Yep.
I went out on the Poudre River one day with my kids. They were ripping tubes just on a little thing, and I was like, I'm gonna go try. Nowhere close to even standing up. I don't know if there was enough water
Yeah, maybe
flow.
low flow,
You
yeah.
gotta know the spot. You gotta know what you're doing. But you posted a few videos, and I'm always curious. Is that you?
Yeah.
Are you out there doing it? I
Yeah.
don't know if I can never tell because you're in a wetsuit. And you got,
Totally.
like-
Yeah. So.
How'd you get into that? How did you?
So, like I said, already kayaker, and then I'm a pretty serious downriver stand-up paddleboarder. So I run a lot of really hard whitewater on a stand-up paddleboard.
Very cool.
You can see my videos; they're everywhere. But actually, I just started.
I don't know. I feel like I follow you. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's badass. I've done that a few times, and it is way harder than it looks.
Whitewater's nuts.
It's because I've ridden a few like ocean waves on
Yeah.
a paddleboard, and I'm like, this is so much easier than surfing. And I thought a river would be.
Oh, you tried on the river?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And I've not any gnarly ones like you see the dudes up in Seoul doing. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing like that. But even I did the Yampa, and there's just a few areas where I just ate shit, and it's kind of scary.
Good for you
and-
though, trying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely scary.
Yeah, my wife was very upset that I didn't wear a helmet.
Oh yeah,
and
you
so
need a helmet
I need
in
a
the river.
helmet
Yeah,
from
you
now
need a
on.
helmet. And we wear, I do a lot of motocross too, so we wear all of our motocross, pads and that kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
Because it gets like on the real, shallow creeks and stuff where it's really steep, class 4 and class 5.
Yeah.
We wear full gear
Damn.
because you're gonna take a hit, and you come home lumpy.
Yeah.
For sure. But anyway, and that's actually so. I was kind of part of the first part of the river surfing here in Denver. I helped shepherd it along, especially to build the wave in Inglewood.
Okay.
So we wrote a bond for $3 million. The voters passed it, and we built a standing river wave, the first one, and actually it's
Wow.
fully adjustable, so we can adjust the sides and the front and shape the wave just right.
Holy
So
shit.
it's
I
really
did not
fun.
know that. I
Yeah,
wish I
yeah.
would have asked you sooner. I'm
Yeah, come
definitely
out and serve
coming
with
out.
us. Yeah, that's all. So, and then there are two guys who work with me who are now just incredible friends and just help me run the whole thing, Jeff and Adam. We all met on river surfing.
That's awesome.
And Adam is the one you always see in the videos who's really ripping.
Yeah.
He's really good. Yeah, probably one of the best river surfers in the state.
That is
Not
so
probably because he wins a lot of competitions. I'm gonna say he is.
nice.
He's a ripping motocross guy. Like, and we're not bullshit. Like it is us.
That's-
People always wonder, and I'm like, that's us.
Yeah.
It's just what we do. And we love it. It's super fun.
It's so awesome.
And these are just say yes guys. Like I think that's why we all get along so well. It's just we all say yes to whatever. We're like, let's go do it.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. So
Oh yeah. And did you know them prior to starting this business?
Yeah, oh,
Like,
yeah.
Just long.
yeah.
Nice.
And I said, come in. So Jeff was first, and Jeff's my main man. And he was like, man, I'm not doing anything. I'll come work at Lava Box. I was like, cool. And now he's our COO, but
That's
yeah,
incredible.
he's a neat guy. And both are professional musicians. Jeff played guitar, taught guitar and lead guitar for 30 years. And then Adam played with a band called Vox. And then just played, we were talking about earlier, played a sold out show with Portugal the Man.
Yeah.
Just infinitely talented guys.
That's awesome.
So I'm lucky to have them. Man,
So
crazy.
cool. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming out, man.
This is the best interview I've ever done.
I haven't really. This is a new segment. We're not sure if we're doing podcasts. We're not sure if we're doing YouTube. We're probably going to roll it out in both. But it's a new segment. They'll probably get better. They can't get much worse. But I'm so
Takes
thankful you
practice.
came. You were like, you didn't ask any questions. You're like, 100% man, I'm in. So I appreciate it.
Ah.
One thing that I'm going to make a tradition starting now,
right.
asking all my guests is, how do you stay so fit? Why are you so jacked? What are
Oh
you doing?
man, I work out a lot. But
All right, that makes me feel better because you.
No, I work out a ton.
Awesome.
And so
Tell me a little bit. I
yeah.
enjoy
So when
fitness. This business has screwed up my.
I got kicked out of college right away.
Okay.
And I started racing snowboards and really focused on athletics.
Really?
And and so I rode for Morrow, rode professionally for 5 years. Rode in the first X Games.
What time frame is this?
1995.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so my brother was an early pioneer snowboarder, sponsored by Burton.
Did we talk about this?
Maybe. Snowboarded with like Sean Palmer. My
I
first
raced,
snowboard.
I raced with Palmer. I raced a bunch of those guys. So
My first snowboard was made by him because he was an architect out of
Crazy.
wood with ski boots
Crazy.
as bindings. And then I actually got a first snowboard. And the first time I came to Colorado, because I'm not originally from Colorado,
Yeah, me neither.
I took my Sorel boots
Yeah, of
because I
course.
didn't have snowboard boots. And the guy at the lift was like, "Hey man, you can't go up on that." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Those aren't snowboard boots." And I was like, I didn't understand. But
That's what they used to be. I mean, we all had
Yeah.
Sorel boots. So.
yeah. Well, that's
like
like I was just
1991,
following
I
my
was,
brother's
yeah.
lead at the time.
Yeah.
So that's so cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
So I always focused on
going back.
athletics forever.
Athletics.
You know, and so like.
but snowboarding isn't fucking pumping iron and having 20-inch arms. What do you? I don't know why you're making this
I
comparison.
mean, kayaking was, you get really strong driving boats. You know,
Okay.
I raft guided for years, and then kayaking makes you strong for
Yeah.
sure. Big core workouts and big arm workouts. I mean, you should use your core, but I don't know, man. I eat a lot of steaks. I don't,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm like mostly veg now.
So you like 5-6 times a week, gym guy?
No. Oh, fuck no. I hate the gym that much. I don't like it that much.
You said you worked out a lot.
I do
need
work
some
out a lot.
clarification.
So all right. I do 4 days a week of lifting.
Okay.
Usually a cardio on Friday, and then usually I'm skiing or snowboarding or
Yeah.
I'm paddling on one day at least a weekend.
All right.
Every weekend,
That's
so.
not that much.
It's not that much.
And how old are you?
I'm 48.
It's impressive. It's impressive to keep. I'm
I try.
41, and like I said, I used to work out religiously. I was a skinny kid, never really did it in high school, but I got into it in college, and I got like real into bodybuilding, and then I was an exercise science major for about a year until kinesiology classes
Right.
made me feel extremely
Super
dumb.
hard. Yeah, super
And
hard.
I worked out religiously for like, I don't know, 18 years until I started this business, and then was like, I don't have time, and
Yeah.
I'm tired from lifting tents and moving boxes all the time. So it's really hard at this age to stay motivated. But
It is. Well, you're kind of in the thick of it too. Like with your kids, your kids' age
yeah,
is hard,
yeah.
but you'll come back.
All right.
You'll be beefcake
That's
soon enough.
That's making me.
You
feel
look great.
Really good. Thanks, man. What a great way to finish it up. Beefcake dreams for me.
Beefcake
Hey,
dreams.
cheers. Thanks again
Cheers,
for coming
yeah, for
out.
sure.
Monday Morning Beers. This was a major success.
Nailed it.
Josh Lerman from LavaBox. Please check out their products. Lavabox.com.
It
Fire
is.
Anytime.
I wish we did. FireAnytime.com.
FireAnytime.com. We are also a retailer. Come on down, check out our boxes and all our gear.
Please buy them from them, please.
So, such a kind soul. All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks again, Josh. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.